about to go live. I'm about to go live. Julian, how are you? Welcome to. Why did that change? This is not this way. I had this perfectly set up. There you go. So yeah, I just needed some time to draft. So we are working today from finishing up a draft that I started yesterday because I just needed something better to do with my time. And doing what I was doing was not doing it for me. So let's see if I can turn it down a bit. Let me know if the music is too loud. Hey D, how are you? Oh wow, there's 8 people. Hey y'all. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. Please tell me where you are joining me from today. But what I am doing is I'm working off of this book called The Men's Fashion Designs, a Guide to Casual Clothes. This is the book that I'm working off of today. And we are starting to work on our draft for our already done. This is already done in the front and the back. What I will say is the draft for me is simply the draft for me, especially for viewing. It really doesn't take that measurements. But it really does. Yeah, when I realized I can measure arms so I can wear the shirt goes into the outside. That's when I can everything else is pretty much comfortable. What I like to do is on the side of my paper here, and on the side, I'm going to I'm going to graph with my sleeve knuckles. My paper is overfolded, meaning that I'm going to the way I'm drafting myself, I'm going to do the side and I'm going to so I need to put my sleeves like for shorts, especially if you put the side piece of the sleeve, you would think a 34-inch sleeve would long. That would be long. And this is the somebody's on that. The retail sleeve shirt sizing. Let's start it's like extra spine. You know, don't take it down. Then my line is good. It's like, why is my spine? Why is my what I got? Okay, I will turn this music down. Are you okay without music? Because that ain't giving me what I need anyway. Okay. So what I was saying is that when you are doing like measurements and stuff like that for sleeves and stuff like that, especially for a retail men's shirt, it does not start here. and work its way down to your like wrist. It literally starts at the center of your back. It starts at the nape of your neck, so like right at your spine, and then works its way down to your shoulder or to your wrist. So when I wear a shirt, my shirt size is a little bit larger. I wear like a usually a 34-inch sleeve for my shirts, and I was trying to figure out why is that the case. I know my like if you measure from here down, I'm like that ain't nowhere near no 34-inch, and now I know why. So what I'm going to do is, for my own sanity, we have some copyright free music. Just you probably won't be able to hear, but I'll be able to hear it, and it will calm me through this process. All right. So now that we have that taken care of, the sleeve measurements that I have. So my sleeve length is going to be 34 inches. And now we'll place that on the fold here. Then I'm going to figure out my cap height. So with this book, you are allowed to decide on the, I don't know if you can fully see that. It's upside down. I'll put it through here. It gives you like a measurement guide for your cap height. So I'll be able to decide like how tall of a like cap I want on my shirt. So the lower the cap, that's more of your casual look. If I wanted it higher, like if I was doing shoulder pads or something like that, that's normally where that would be fitted. Hey, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm going to do a plus underarm seam, 6-inch. So we're going to do a 6-inch cap. So that is, so center back to shoulder with a 6-inch cap is 9 3/8. So then underarm seam will be around 18. Wait a minute, you know what? I'm going to do a smaller cap. I'm going to do a 4-inch cap because I don't need 6-inch would normally be like a very formal shirt, and I don't want this to be that formal. So I'm going to choose a. We'll split the difference. Let's go to 4-inch cap. So still, the sleeve length is still 34, but that means that my underarm seam will be 20 inches, 20 and 5/8. But still, that center back seam is still 9 3/8. And normally I have a smaller wrist, so I'm going to do a small wrist cuff, which is normally around 9 inches. 9 inches. So this is 4. So A to B will be 1 1/4. C to D, and the back will be 1/2. All right. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do is start at my sleeve length at the fold. So at the fold of my paper, which is on this side, I'm going to measure down 34 inches. And I have drawn a small line, and I'm working in pen. Normally you'll work in pencil, and I don't know if you can even see that in my little camera, but I have a line here that I'm working off of for everything. So to here, 34 inches down to here. Okay. So now, A to B is that. Then my C, A to C, which is my cap height, and I decided on 4. So we're going to do to here. This is my cap height. Then, so this is C, this is A, this is B. So now, something fell. Hey, how y'all doing? Hope everyone's having a good Thursday. Again, we here for some time. Probably not the longest time, but we here to chill out and see how long this takes me. So we have to C. So then C to D is 1/2 between B and C. So this is C. So D is 30 inches. So that means that 15 inches right here. 15 inches is, this is D. Then E is 1 inch up. This is E. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me today. As again, this is probably where I'll be landing most of the time when I'm doing lives and different things like that and demonstrations. So definitely make sure that you give this a follow. Um, but I'm Julian Creates everywhere. So, but definitely wanting to utilize the different platforms that I have, um, you know, to meet and talk and chat with people. So feel free to ask questions if you have any. That's E, so that'll be my elbow line. All right, so now we have my E, square out to from B, which is my wrist. And you know what? This feels wrong because this is going to be a long ass sleeve. Let me see. Hold on. Because this feels retail sleeve length. Yes. Let's go back. I want to read something real fast. The short. Okay. Labeled. Measured out by. The sleeve and the collar are of crucial importance to menswear designers. The packaging of men's classic dress shirts emphasizes this importance. Consumer usually sees only the fabric, the color, and the pattern. If any, the collar style, cuffs sometimes, and the size. 15.5 by 32-33. The long sleeve shirt is merchandised by measuring from the center back neckline to the end of the sleeves. This retail denominator for sleeve length measurements are taken from the center back of the nape of the neck, across the upper shoulder area to the center of the sleeve cap at the end of the shoulder point, continuing down the forearm to the lower edge of the cuff. Such measurements, okay. So the following measurements include overlap and underlap. 5/8, so small, okay. For a smooth, no, okay. Cuff widths, okay. Well, yep. That's what they said to do. Okay. This just looked like it's about to be a long ass sleeve. It's gonna hit my shin or something like that. But we're gonna trust the process because one of the great things is we can change it if it don't work. All right. So we have B, we have E. Okay, and they also want me to square off at C. So, and one of the great things, I use a big mat rotary cutting surface. So of course that has all of my lines on it already. So what I am doing is lining up like the fold of my paper to my grid on my mat. Then I'm able to use my ruler here to make sure everything still matches up. And that's how I'm able to get an accurate squaring of my lines, following my lines there. One of the great things, same place, go over the cap to the elbow, and then the arm slightly bent to the wrist. So I did, normally that's what I do. Normally it starts from here, goes down slightly bent to the wrist. This one is different because it's using retail measurements. But then it just definitely says just sleeve length, but it says, but when they talked about it, they talked about retail sleeve length. So we're trying to figure that out. We're gonna see what this gives. That's all I can say. We gonna roll with it and see what happens. Okay. So we have our A. We have, this is our like bicep line. So at the cap here, we have our E, which is our elbow line. And then we have B, which is down here, which is our wrist. So now from here, we are going to do some more of our drafting. So we have those. So A to F equals 1/2 of the arm's eye less a quarter of an inch. So the arm's eye, of course, is all of this. All of this. So what I'm doing to measure that, it does make it really does make you think, because I know when, but here's the thing, especially when I buy retail shirts, the spending on the brand, the one issue that I have is that it always fits at first wear. After that first wash, it is always too short. And I'm always buying either a 34 or 35. But normally what ends up happening is the shirt that would fit to here when I bought it would end up here after first wash. I always wondered, why do sleeves always wash differently? And especially if it's a fabric or something like that, that's happened to shirts I've made too. After first wash, the sleeves shrink. And I don't know why. But so one of the things I do have to go ahead and do is I need to go ahead and measure out my arm's eye. So arm's eye again is this space. So this is telling you how much fabric and stuff that you need to make sure that it's going to fit into your shirt. Excuse me. And all of this is first started without any seam allowance. Now, depending on the formula and the drafting that you use, some of them do have seam allowance. So Winifred Aldrich, who does pattern drafting for metric pattern cutting for menswear, hers does have a 1 centimeter seam allowance, so like a 3/8 of an inch, but most do not. So we're going to start here and work on. And for this, I definitely like to make sure that I have a soft ruler. This makes it so much easier. Okay, so we are at 9.5 there. 13. So I have 19.25, so 19 inches. And also, of course, peep the soft tape that I'm using. This is my Black Sewing Network soft tape. A great tool to keep in your sewing room. It always comes in handy. So we had 19.25 inches. So now it's 1/2 of that. So that is, what is that? 9.5. So we had 19.25, take off the quarter, 19, so 9.5. All right. So now this will become my F line. All right. So we now have the top of that. So then down here, this is 1/2 of my wrist measurement. So that is 4.5. And then, of course, I have a true yardstick. And luckily, what I'm working to use this for is going to be for I'm going to start with a short sleeve shirt. So I'm really ain't, it don't have to be all of that crazy, like as I'm trying to do this. Hey, Will. Hey, Sabs. Hope y'all are doing well. Welcome in. All right. So we now have the basics of what will be our draft. So now, into thirds. Okay, so now we're going to start working on our sleeve head. So this is normally where the curve and stuff happens, so that you can make sure everything is fitting correctly. So now what they want me to do, we know that this was what, 9 and, let me get my other tape, because this is the way I can measure it again is do this way. So yeah, so this is 9.5. Actually, you know what? We're gonna redraft some of this. Well, just a little bit, because this is coming off a little bit more than I want it to. So we're gonna move this here. There we go. I'm going to re-angle this real fast. Maybe. I was wondering. This felt a little wider to me than I wanted. So there we go. All right. So now, I want to thank you so much for opening up account for us. We totally appreciate it. Welcome in. Is that my phone? It is. Okay. So now that we know that this is the case for 9.5, we're going to now break this into thirds. So to break this into thirds, I'm currently working on a sleeve. So we are using a vintage drafting manual. And by vintage, I mean, sadly, about 30 years old because it's from the 90s. And I don't feel vintage. But this is the Fundamentals of Men's Fashion Design, a guide for casual clothes. This is the second edition by Edmund Roberts and Gary Onishinko. So this is what we're using today. And wanting to try their draft for their shirt. Hey, Court, how are you? All right. So now we are going to break this into thirds and a third. Hold on. That's when we get out a little bit of a calculator, just so that I can remember how to do this. 9.5, divide that by 3. So that's 3 and 1/16, or 1/16. So that's 3 and about 10. Don't do that much. Maybe a little bit more. So we're going to go up to here. There we go. All right. So we now know this is here. This is here. So this is helping. Well, you know what? We're trying to do a little something with the double camera. Now, to get said double camera, I was trying. I really tried today. Is this the shorter body one that you were talking about? Yes, this is the shorter body one. So the actual bust, the actual slope part of it stops at my waist. So it stops here. And then when you draft your shirt and stuff like that, it tells you to go ahead and add whatever length that you need. Now back to try to get this camera set up. So my original goal is I have a Canon camera with a utility I was supposed to be able to use as a webcam. It didn't want to work today. Like I done re-downloaded it and everything and plugged it all up. It said no. So you are on my old MacBook Air as my webcam here. This down here is my iPad. And then I'm looking at comments and stuff like that on my phone. Technically, I could use my phone as my webcam in place of it. But then the computer decided, or the phone, I clicked off of it and it disconnected and I can't get it to reconnect. So hence this. Um, hey Karen, how are you? Um, but we trying. We making it work the best way we can make it work right now. But I am glad that I'm able to now show better like myself and talk as well as show the bottom camera below. And this is all my glasses technically cannot go live on Twitch. I don't think it can go live on Instagram. It can go live on Meta products essentially, which I have not been using. So come on, look, we're trying to upgrade. If nothing else, if we didn't learn anything else in this process, we know what we are not only capable of is that, but we also can do some upgrades as need be. So, so this is A and F, H and I. So this is H, this is I. Okay. So now to get my cap, oh, okay, A to B. So then you connect A, J through H. So then you kind of go back to the other page to see like how much difference you need to put into your cap. So for mine, for my A to B, which is this top measurement, that is going to be um, a fourth of an inch. Mm-mm. Okay. So now we're going to take our, I have different curve rulers. So this is one. I probably want to use my more flexible curve. So there we go. Y'all can see me up at the top of the table. And the sad thing is that I also have now I have one of those before TikTok decided to shit the bed. I got one of those fancy lights, so I can actually see if I can put it more this way. So it's like I have my regular ring light, but now I have one of these circle lights. There you go. A little bit more light on the face. Okay. So yeah, this is I'm using Restream now, but my Restream only allows me to go live, I think, on 2. Either way, it's fine. But it's definitely something to look into. But I've been enjoying Restream because Restream was the first one that like you could also go live on TikTok if you wanted to. You just can't see the comments. The same with Instagram. So if I want to do live on Instagram, I can go live through this. I can't, but then I would just need to make sure I have something else up to see the comments over there. So like even right now, I think I could go in and add in another channel. So if I wanted to go live on TikTok or something like that, I could. All right, so that's coming up 3/8 or a quarter, coming down, and we'll dip under. So just leave cap variation, make sure. Yep. Perfect, 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 perfect. And then trace. All right, so then for this, we're gonna go up to here like that. And then go like that to there. And then right. So we now have the front of our sleeve. So now when doing this, now what I can go ahead and do is I can go ahead and cut out the basic parts of the front and the back already. Um, oh, you don't get the. Oh, I thought you did, child. But yeah, me and Restream, we cool. It's working for me, and I can do the little background stuff on it and stuff like that. So yeah. All right. So now we've had I've cut the major part out. So I'm taking my little. This is my little one of my very. I think I got one of the smaller rotary cutters from Walmart. I like to use these for cutting paper and different things like that. So I'm going ahead and cutting down my side. This is helpful in making sure that I know where everything will land, even on the other side, because remember, I've only drafted one side of my sleeve. There we go. So now, this top part, I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to fully cut yet. So I'm cutting it fully at the line that I square, which is my A line. Okay. We can cut it down like that. There we go. So now the rest of this paper can get out of my way for right now. All right. So now what can also be helpful is that we know where our lines that we are doing everything else on. So I can go ahead on the other side, make sure some of these lines kind of get in place, because we're literally about to do the same thing on this other side. So to help with that, just so that I can help make sure everything matches, this is how my brain works when I do stuff like this. And your brain might be a bit different than mine. Okay. So we're just basically going to take that and we're going to fold it the other direction along the fold line. Just at the top. Make sure everything relines up. Everything should basically reline up. And we're not even fully folding it in place. There you go. I just want to be able to basically come along and follow that edge to make my marks. There you go. So now I know that I have kind of done it both sides. Hey, Miss Carol, how are you? Okay. And what's also great, we can go ahead and do a little check of our math again, making sure everything is pretty much where I want it to be. So yeah, we'll come down a bit more to this way. There we go. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Cool. So now, for my back mark, that goes up 3/8 of an inch for this front one. It's an inch. And then for this bottom one, I to K goes up 3/16. All right, so now we're gonna put in well, you know what? I mean, even though that is her Twitch name, if you actually that's her username on everything. We just know her as Miss Carol. But yeah, it's ANSI 2001 on every platform. It ain't never changed. But yeah, it takes a minute. It takes a minute. Look. Okay. to this one like that. And then I just kind of go back through and trace it to make sure that my lines um, are as, you know, even as possible around my curve, around and up. All right. So now we have, like, this is already cut out. So what I can now do is go ahead. See what this is giving. There we go. So we have our 4-inch sleeve head at the top. But again, this sleeve is long as hell. So I gotta figure that out. But luckily, but actually, hold on. No, yeah. So yeah, we gotta figure out what they mean by sleeve length. But luckily, for what I need it for, I'm honestly only using about this much of the shirt to start. So luckily, I don't need the full sleeve. I need a half a sleeve. So we just about to cut out the rest of this, and I'll figure that part out later. There you go. And y'all ain't see that part. Yeah. So yeah. So this is where we're going to start with in terms of how much sleeve I need for my pattern. So now what I need to now do is I need to go through and add in seam allowance to all of my pattern pieces, so that I can then try this out to see what it's giving. And luckily, for some of this, we're just about to use the paper that I just cut off. So what I'm going to do is, do I have tape? Do I have tape somewhere? And let me make sure I mark this as, I just need to make sure I have some markings there. That's the top. Okay. Do I have tape? Where's my tape? Here it is. Tape. All right, so now I'm going to just tape some on the back so I can then go ahead and do seam allowances. I'm not doing anything at the hem. Hey, Joanne, how are you? And we're going to do probably simple 3/8. Then I can just line it up to the foot of my sewing machine and do that. So for that, I am going to use, what's great is that some of my, actually, you know what? I'll use 1/2 inch. I like to make it as easy as possible, and whatever ruler that I have that like can give me quick and easy measurements for my seam allowances, that's what I'm about to do. So today, that is this ruler for me. I want to go there. Yeah. And again, if you have questions about what I'm cutting on and stuff like that, I'm using my Big Mat rotary cutting surface, especially for, it has become a valuable tool within my sewing room. And I know available in most of our bios, a great partner that we have been working with as part of Black Sewing Network since its inception almost.
So definitely want to check out if you have any questions or are looking or in the market for a new cutting mat. I think, especially for the amount of use, it makes it simple. So it depends on. Sometimes I do like to use half an inch. Sometimes, um, because I like metric, a lot of times I would just use a 3/8 of an inch, just due to it being um, just super simple. Because like though I'm using my current this is an imperial ruler. Most of the time I'm using metric rulers. Um, so and when I'm using a metric ruler, it's just easier for me to use a centimeter. So okay. First side done. I'm gonna see if I can get. Okay. Luckily, this is why I keep extra paper. But yeah, Anna is, like you just said, Anna is the go. Super helpful. If you have any questions or especially around your needs for a cutting mat, um, and looking for something that is local or like American made, indie, minority owned, Anna is who I would definitely go ahead and check out. And the person, and especially as we have started to live through a hellscape in the past few days, um, definitely wanting to make sure that I support the brands that I know support me and my life and stuff like that. And Anna is one of those. So, um, one of those places. I have the back of those who have minds. So now more than ever, I feel that it's going to be necessary as we are seeing people's jobs leave, as conferences and stuff change. Um, you know, swift mobilization and action is going to be needed. Okay. Highway. All right. So we have seam allowance on the sleeve. And I'm not worried about all this extra paper on the back. I'll probably come back through and cut some of that off. Oh, I love the scraper. The scraper, let me tell y'all about the scraper. Because the scraper, what I like to do is that became like just a relaxing thing to me. Sometimes I would just be down here and don't want to do anything else. I would start scraping my mat. Honestly, though, I have not probably done like scraped my mat in months. And still it's smooth, nothing gets caught on it or anything like that. And if I don't have my scraper itself, I just use one of my I just use one of my acrylic rulers and scrape with that. All right, so we did that. So we're gonna start doing sides. Okay, we'll do it this way. And I'm not going to put any seam allowance at the neck edge, um, or towards the bottom. So I'm just really trying to make sure I have seam allowances at the side seam and the arm's eye. luckily, if this does not give me what I want, um, this is not my only. Like I have another sloper that I can use that I've already tested. I just need to probably add a little bit more ease for my liking. But I do know that it fits, especially for a short sleeve shirt. So I'm not worried about that from that perspective. But sometimes you just want a different sloper. Because especially slopers be giving you um, different vibes. And sometimes, we are going by vibes more than anything. So with this, because this paper can be used on the edge of something else. So we're taking that piece of paper out. Then I'm just going to there we go. So check this out. Tracking number. All right, so we got the back. So let me do the front real fast. Well, thank you so much, Miss Valerie. How are you? Hey, Lynette, how are you? Or Levette? And again, thank y'all so much for joining over here. And I think if nothing else, it's still important. We know we all we got in this world right now. Now more than ever, is that evident? Shout of God. Woo! So the fact that we, stay connected, stay together, let we can check in on each other, make sure everybody mama doing good, dad is doing well, whatever. That's gonna be important in the upcoming years and days and whatnots. And I think, I also can realize that, especially for the past few days, I was a lot worse than I thought I was, feeling wise. Most of that has kind of wooside. We have calmed a bit, slightly. So I now can show up again a little bit more like my normal. Look, the disconnection is real right now. It's interesting because, I think most people said, like, especially, and I fully agree, most of the like Black women and stuff said they're going to fully disconnect. And then we're seeing they've almost are making it in a way that we can't disconnect. We can't just sit back and watch because we're seeing it affect people that we love. We're seeing it affect, we know that it can affect us now as they are pushing back the civil rights legislation and stuff like that. So this is a fucked up time to be alive. So, but yeah, they're making it so that, especially because we care, we can't like in our jobs or something like that. This is the worst. Like, they're not giving us an option to sit back and just watch. And I don't know if that was the reasoning or something like that, but I'm not a Black woman, so I'm not even talking about for their perspective, but it's very much like, it's affecting people that we love. It's affecting those who are doing good work. As I was watching a live earlier of somebody that I admire, Daddy Designer Daddy. who is of Asian descent, who just not too long got his citizenship, and all of this has just it hit him, and he was on live crying, and last week I had my little live cry, and it's a lot right now. It's just a lot, so just a lot. All right, so we have added in our seam allowances to our front and side seams. I think I accidentally cut a little bit of that off, so I need to make sure I true that. So now we're just kind of looking to make sure everything is true the way it needs to be true. So I will add in a little piece here. Now, no, most of the time this won't even matter all that much until it does. How about that? You know? There you go. And it's easier to check it now. Go. And to check it later. Take the rest of this paper off. I don't need that. There we go. I accidentally ripped through my paper earlier, so we're gonna do like that. Oh, nose itches. Okay. Then we're gonna check true everything again, make sure we're good. Okay, good there. Show the seams. Yep. So probably I'm definitely gonna have to true up my shoulders a bit. But I like that this one has a larger shoulder anyway. I'll probably have to draw this in a bit between the two, but that's normal. They don't always like line up the way they're supposed to line up, but it's also on a bias, so it gives you a little wiggle room in play. All right, and then we have the sleeve here. Take off some of this extra paper because that ain't needed. So overall, doing stuff like this, it is fun to be able to get some of these different pattern drafting manuals because it's a way to learn different things and learn how stuff is done, especially if you use other countries. What's great about this manual, and I wish they still made it. I have this manual as in this version. I also have one for the men's like tailoring from the 70s, which is full of vital information to the point that I bought it twice because I couldn't find my other copy. And I was like, oh no, I need that. That one definitely uses more traditional, maybe Chantel, traditional techniques, meaning that it uses, what's it called? It uses chest measurements. So everything is like proportionate to the chest. So it's like a half of a chest measurement. So my chest measurement currently is like a 36, 37 right now. So it will basically be drafting a whole thing off of your chest measurement only. Where this one uses more traditional, a few other measurements, but it does not use that many. And most of them are available to you in the chart that is available in this book. Then I also have a book that I just printed off by Esmond. That is a French pattern drafting manual. Oh yeah. Oh, they're the best. I love vintage sales for different like manuals and books and stuff like that you can buy. That's normally how I buy most of the ones that I own. It just makes it the easiest. Makes it the easiest. Actually, yeah, y'all gonna bear with me because I'm gonna sit down because the drafting portion of the class is done. And honestly, we got a few more minutes. I'm gonna wrap up things here because I gave myself a little schedule. So, Jesus. So moving forward, I plan to go live at least once or twice a week. Oops, for about an hour. I don't know if it will be Thursdays or another day. Um, but at least once a week, probably kind of like shortly after work ends, I will go live, do some sewing, some chatting, and stuff like that. I find that this is the easiest way for me to connect. And I like doing this, and it helps hold me accountable to you all. And just to, you know where this hoodie came from? This hoodie is a Burlington Coat Factory hoodie for $4.99. Because y'all know my sizing changed. I went from a size, I used to be like a size 2X extra large. I'm currently a size medium small. So I needed stuff. But yeah, I do want to at least come live once a week, and it may be maybe adding another day on a weekend, Saturday or Sunday, coming live. I'm really excited because there are a lot of great things that will be happening within the coming months. That it gives me what I need. It's giving a little bit of sheen, like the fabric quality is giving a little sheen, but it's still thick enough to do. For the price, I ain't gonna be mad. But yeah, so from my pattern to, are you sewing like collars and sleeves with the flat method? So what do you mean by the flat method? Because most of the time, collars and sleeves are sewn flat. What do you mean? But that would be my plan. And actually, the shirt that I'm planning to draft will have a mandarin collar, a little different. Also using Wegovy. So I've been using tirzepatide for a little over, 18 months? Almost, yeah. 15, no, yeah, almost 18 months. No, yes, almost 18 months. I started July 15th of 23. And I am down about 80 something pounds. So and now I'm at maintenance. So what I do is I take it, instead of taking it weekly, I take it about every other week. And I never got to a full dose. Well, here's hoping. Hopefully you like it. Definitely there are a lot of people out here that can help with that. Even on other platforms that can help in just kind of helping to manage that, making sure that you get your protein and stuff like that. That's what's going to be important. And then exercise. So I just started exercising again yesterday. I was trying a different workout regime. So I bought, y'all know I love a gadget. So I used to own a electro muscle stimulation suit. So this is a workout style that they do a lot of times in Europe. That basically is like a TENS unit attached to you as you work out, and it contracts your muscles and stuff like that. And everything, it like basically you get like an hour, 2 hour workout in 20 minutes. So I bought a suit called Catalyst because the old suit that I had was like a dupe of a Catalyst. And that I can't fit it anymore. And everything was built in and it was not adjustable. So if I put it on, the electrodes would not touch me. So I bought Catalyst, and it came this week. So we love a gadget. So I did my first week workout last night. I bought that one because it's also I could purchase with my HSA. Praise the Lord. So I did that, purchased it, used it last night, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. So like right now, even sitting, my abs are sore, my chest is sore, my shoulders are sore, my butt, my thighs, everything's sore, but it's not where I can't move, which is good because normally that's what happens. Like I can't like the potassium levels, I can't get that under control. And it was all from literally no weights, simple movements. So I'll probably break today, do it again tomorrow. Um, yeah. So I'm proud of myself. So I will also probably talk about that more on here. And just as a way to hold me accountable. So make sure I use my gadgets. Also, you probably saw on my Instagram I shared. I got one of the other sewing machines that I ordered came today. I need to work on it. It's the Kenmore, and I told y'all I'm trying to like Kenmores. I really am. But every time I've gotten a Kenmore, every other machine that I get normally I can use it out the box. Kenmores always need something wrong with them. This Kenmore is a lady Kenmore, so this one is not a regular Kenmore. It is a German, West German made Kenmore by the Gritzner company. It was also sold as a FOF 280 and a Gritzer UG, something like that, GU, something like that. When I tell you that machine, I got it and it needs a new belt. And the belt is built in, so I need to figure out how to do that. I think I can fix it myself, and then oil it and see what's going on with this machine. Um, but again, my streak continues. My stuff ain't working, but it's okay. It's okay. It's pretty. It was on the list of one of the rare Kenmores that people like and want. And the one that I got still has its certificate of when they purchased it. Um, Come on, I appreciate it, and I receive influence and affluence. I receive the abundance. I receive the abundance. So yeah, I I will get that fixed and stuff like that. But it's a rare Kenmore, and the certificate said it was purchased in 1961, and they started making them in 1958. So from 1958, 59, like 60s, and then they started going to another model. But it is has built-in stitches and stuff like that. So it's a pretty neat machine. It has like 20 built-in stitches for the time, which was really neat. Um, but yeah, I'm sore, so I'm gonna go figure out what I'm gonna eat for dinner. Um, go see it because I also got some. My coats are supposed to be coming today. If y'all have not also been following, y'all know I've been on a fur coat kick. So I have a mink and leather men's coat coming and a rabbit coat coming that's supposed to be delivered today. So I need to go see if they came because I'm crazy. Because I'm crazy, and honestly, if shopping is what's keeping me sane and not crashing out, we're gonna shop right now because I like to stay on this side of jail cell bars. You know. Also, as I was talking about earlier, and Carmen admonished me, I said should talk about it on my live and not others. So somebody posted there was a deal yesterday, and I think it still is going on at Best Buy. Best Buy had buy one get one TVs. So you could get if you bought a 75-inch Samsung Smart TV, it was normally $779. It was $529. You got a free 43-inch. And they take PayPal and PayPal credits and such. Not it got stolen. Jesus, not it got stolen. Not the Kenmore got. So I have other Kenmore. So this is my third or fourth Kenmore, and each one, none of them has worked. Some of them have broken gears, like they were just crumbling. One is a purple one. It's pretty, but it just has never worked. I don't know why, but the machine just never worked. So this one, I plugged it in, like I can twirl it, but then I plugged it in and pressed the pedal, and the belt was. I looked underneath it, the belt was in my hands. So it's okay. It is what it is. It's gonna be okay. But y'all, I said I will be on here for an hour, and I've given my hour for the day. Thank y'all so much for coming over here and joining me over here. And we're gonna continue to do this. It just shows the power of community and that we can stay together. And I think if nothing else, that's what's going to hold us together and keep us together. So, and everything and got stolen. Look, oh, I would have been heated, so heated. But yes, I am Julian Creates everywhere. Okay, so you can always find me. Feel free to reach out. I'm here. I answer questions. You got ideas. I also have a Facebook group. I'm keeping it for those reasons, called So Manly. Feel free to join there if you have questions around menswear, masculine inspired fashion, but all are welcome. So until next time, y'all. Again, thank y'all so much for joining me, and we'll talk soon. Bye, y'all.